Today's topic is going to be about mothers. I want to talk to you about my mother, the hardest working person that I know. Hi, this is Robert Wilkins, aka Basketball Tall. Welcome to my channel. I'm glad that you're with me here today because I'm going to talk about something that's going to affect everyone right now that's listening to this. I'm going to talk about our mothers. But before I get into the program, let me ask you, how are you feeling today? How are you feeling right now? Do you feel you need someone to comfort you with words or maybe a hug? Well, it's never too late for that to happen, is it? We all could use I love you, or we could use a hug, someone just to comfort us, just to listen to us, just to be able to talk to. Because there are a lot of lonely people out there in this world, and that just could wish that they could have someone to show them some form of appreciation. But anyhow, today's topic is going to be about mothers. My mother. I decided to do this today because in my previous profession, in which many of you know I was involved in law enforcement, but for the last 25 years was a juvenile justice specialist, and 9 of those years was a supervisor over 5 counties. And usually, we visit with families, the kid and their parent, and sometimes siblings. And all too often, I noticed something for many. They never told each other that they loved each other. When was the last time you told your mother? Now, I want to say this. This is about mothers. We'll talk about fathers another day, so stay tuned for that. But when was the last time you told your mother that you love her? Mom, when was the last time you told your daughter that you love her, or your son that you loved him? I would see often when they were in my office, sometimes, some of you would be shocked to know that kids use profanity toward their parents. And you may be also surprised to know that parents get high, get intoxicated with their children, or may even sit around the table, after having an incident with the police and just excited about it, talking about how they got away and what they did and didn't do. But when was the last time you really told your parent, your mother, that you love her? There can be years go by as children, and the parent, not all parents are perfect. We're brought up differently. Not everybody have the same values. And there are parents that have never told their kids they love them. Maybe since past a certain point in age, but when they usually get into become adolescents, many of those kids never heard their parents tell them they loved them or showed any kind of affection of a hug. And let me share this with you. All too often, I would bring that up. Have you ever seen a kid jump on their mother in your presence? I have, multiple times. And, of course, it goes the other way too, but then again, I look at it as a parent disciplining the kid, okay? But all too often, when there's conflict going on in the office and I had to get control, and I would just ask them, when the last time you hugged your mother? When the last time you told your mother you loved her? And you'll be amazed, really, you'll be amazed. And that may be some of you that I'm talking to right now. And then when I would just say, won't you give your mother a hug? Or tell the mother, won't you give him or her a hug? And and when you see that, you can see the genuine emotions that's been bottled up, that they had not displayed any kind of affection toward one another in a very long time. And then you can see how tears are shed, and then how they grab each other real tight and hold on real tight. It may just be temporary, but that's the start of something positive. beginning of something great. So for you parents and you children of the parents, let your mother know that you love her. Show your mother some affection. Give them a hug, even if they don't want it. Give them a hug. Take them out to lunch or dinner. Do something for them. Get to create that bond where it should be. Because no matter how old we get, they're still going to be our mother. Now, I'm going to talk to you about my mother. The hardest working person that I know. I used to watch my mother and my grandfather, her father, sit around and have discussion and talk about how hard they worked. I know that could be strange for many of you talking about how hard someone worked, because a lot of times we ask people, we always tell people don't work too hard, and they take it as a badge of honor, letting I'm not working hard. But I always tell people work hard, because my mom always worked hard. My mom, I remember coming up, she had always minimum 2 jobs. And then I remember, she was just working, cleaning up people's homes, and this was in the 60s. And she always had, I would say about 3. She'd do one home, she'd go to another, she'd do another. But there was these people that she worked for that were teachers and one on the school board. And approached her one day, and let me back up. There's one particular lady she was working for, and she had these extra cars at her home. And she asked my mom, because my mom told me the story, and she's going to be listening to this too, that she asked her, Odessa, and that's my mother's name, Odessa. Her maiden name is Jenkins, and that's what she uses now. And she said, can you drive? You have a license? My mom told her, yeah. She said she had never driven, and she gave her a car. I remember that to this day. It was a 1963 Valiant, one of those push button, cars. And of course, I did some delinquency stuff back then, because I remember when I was a little kid, 11, 12 years old, and when my Aunt Dorothy used to come pick my mom up, and I'd jump in her car because I knew she kept an extra set of keys, and would load up the car, me and my siblings and friends in the house, next door neighbors, and I'd drive and stayed in the community, but I would drive all over the place, and then I would go back and park it just as she had left it. And I did that several times. I told my mom about that, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago. And I can laugh about it now, but back then she would have tore me up because she did not spare the rod whatsoever. And but the thing is, she got a car. She was blessed. And of course, she got a license and all that. But then the people she worked for, a teacher and on the school board, I think there was the Olsons or someone like that. And they got her position as being a teacher's aide. Now go from cleaning up homes, now all of a sudden you dressing up being a teacher's aide. To us, she was like a school teacher to us, and next thing led to another, she became a bus driver. And me being a guy, a male species, I'm thinking, as a little kid, I'm thinking, no, my mom can't drive. I thought I was a better driver than her own car. Then I was thinking, all of a sudden she became a school bus driver, got her chauffeur's license and all of that. And she drove the school bus for 29 years. She let the teacher's aide job go, and she drove the bus. And then between downtime, she would go in and do a couple of houses. That's my mom. She's the hardest working person I know. We've always had plenty of food. We've always dressed well. And I can't say that for everybody in the community, but we were okay. And my mom, up till COVID, she's 84, going on 85 this year, she was still working. Can you believe that? Only thing that restricted her from working was COVID. And she takes that very serious, by the way. And but she was what they called, I forgot, like a bus monitor. And they would go pick up kids, but she was on a small bus because she retired. We all went to her retirement, and they gave her a grand retirement, for the city of Monroe, the school board or whatever. And this is in Monroe, Louisiana, by the way. And I tell you what, a bus monitor, and they would pick up the kids with disabilities. So it's a small bus, little half-size bus. But she was still working. They called her back, and so she went back and did a little bit part-time. And so she would do that, and then she'd go still work on a couple homes at her age. That's my mom. And if you know one of her kids, we all work. I retired, from the criminal justice field with actually 25 years as a juvenile justice specialist, that State Department. And I guess you can say I'm still working because I'm trying to help somebody by this video. So I'm asking all of you, everyone right now that's still living, you have a mother. Show your mom some appreciation. And I know there are some moms out there you can't show appreciation to because, we're human beings and none of us are perfect. No matter what mistakes we've made on this journey of life, we can still overcome them. And I encourage you that if you harbor any ill will against anybody, it's time to get over it. It's time to forgive. It's time to move forward and show each other some love and kindness. It's Robert Wilkins, aka Basketball Tall. Stay with me. Stick with me. If you like what I'm saying, subscribe to this channel and press the like button too. And that way you would not miss out on any uploads of any programs that I post on this channel. And I post them every Tuesday. Thank you for joining in. Stick with me. See you next time.
But I want to commend Luke for raising such a fine son, because we are a product of our raising, and she did an excellent job producing a man like Robert Wilkins. Come on. Mike's working.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening. Robert Jr. That's where it started first. All his life, we've been involved in church, school, and what he goes to when he his toys was pants. He had been out there all day with a stick, playing just with ants. Marbles, basketball was his favorite. He played basketball until late up in the night. And then when I come out to call for him, and he hear me, he said he just started running. Well, he knew I was gonna make it seem. Be out there, come on here, boy. What you done out here tonight? Stuff like that. I had to work. That's how I got my divorce. I had to work 2 jobs, support my kids. I never did look at welfare. I never did look at anything else. I was good. And so that's the way my kids came. They work for whatever they work for. That's my baby boy there. Jeffrey. Lieutenant Jeffrey. So, I had 5 children, 5. Jean was the cook. And then after Robert Jr. got old enough, he was the cook. After that, and she was the cook, and after then, Larry was the cook. Larry was the good cook. And all in all, we made it. We didn't have to go to the jail. I didn't have to go to the jailhouse. I didn't have to go to anything. I sit down and I talk to my kids. I said, now, okay, I have to work. If you get in trouble for unnecessary stuff, you just stay there. But if you get in something trying to save your life, I'll get you. You know, we have to fight. Don't they know I mean? That's right. And so, that's all I'm going to say. I can say so much.